What's going on, everybody? This is Shamarcus, and this is Shamarcus Talks. And on this episode, we're going to talk about growth looks different. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing fine. Yeah, good to see everyone back on this Friday. So, growth looks different. That's what we're going to talk about today. Um, so, on the other day, me and my son, we were sitting down and we were playing this video game in his room. And while we're playing the video game, something happened, and we looked at it. He has a fish tank. Now he's been had this fish tank for roughly about a year. I want to say somewhere off in there. Probably about a year. Probably about a year he's had this fish tank, and then he's had four fish in this fish tank. Five, sorry, five fish in this fish tank. Right? He's already named them, everything of that nature. So on this particular day, after we got through playing the game, something happened and we started looking at his fish. And he was like, "Oh, Daddy, this fish looks big." I'm like, "Yeah, he's gotten bigger." Because when we first got them, they were like this big. So now they're maybe this big, somewhere off in there. And my son was like, "Okay, so that one's growing, that one's growing." And he had one little one that he said, "Dad, it's not growing." I was like, "Well, why do you think it's not growing?" He said, "Because it's not as big as the other fish." So come to find out, as I thought back, that same fish was actually the biggest fish that was in the whole tank. And just because the other fish came and outgrowed him, um, he thought that the fish didn't grow. Actually, I told him, "Eshe, the fish actually growed." Because I remember the fish was smaller than it is now. So I know it growed. However, my son was looking and was like, "No, it didn't grow." I'm like, "Well, son, it did." I wish I had have took a picture or something like that to let him actually know that the fish actually grew. It growed. And the thing is, the other fish just somehow or another grew bigger than he did. So in my son's eyes, he didn't actually grow because all the other fish was bigger than him. But I'm pretty sure if you ask this fish, well, not saying that, but if the fish was a person and you ask this fish, of course he's grown. However, no, everybody else is growing bigger than him. But as long as he's doing whatever he needs to do, then that's the only thing that matters. And as long as he continues to grow, that's the only thing that matters. So that actually brought me to what I wanted to talk about today. I know that in my life, as long as I've been on my journey, that I've sometimes felt like I haven't grown, and sometimes I will feel stagnant, like, yeah, I haven't grown this month, or anything like that. However, if I've talked to someone else that's on the outside looking into this, they'll be like, "Man, you have grown. Like you've did this and you did that." And it's been a couple people that I've actually talked to that actually told me, "Hey, man, you're doing really good. This and that, this and that." But in my mind, I haven't grown because I haven't seen the couple things that I really need to see in order to make me feel like I've grown. However, that also brings me back to the fish situation. So if you would have asked this fish, "Has he grown?" He probably would have said, "Yeah, I've grown." Like, you didn't see it. You know what I mean? But as far as looking from my son's eyes, he's never grown. And again, that comes back to us as humans. Like, sometimes we can grow, and sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes it takes other people for us to see it. Sometimes we see it and other people don't see it. Like the fish situation that we're talking about. So I said all of that to initially say this. Sometimes you can actually grow and not see that you're growing. And sometimes you can not see you're growing and you're really growing. I think I said that right. So sometimes you can grow and you see yourself growing. You see that you're doing more than you did in the last week or something like that. However, other people around you aren't seeing this same growth. However, on the other end of that spectrum, everybody can see you're growing. Everybody can see all these positive things that you're doing and everything like that. However, you be like, I don't see it. I really don't see anything. So, again, all of that comes to this. It's up to you in order to see your growth. And sometimes you're going to be able to see it, sometimes you're not going to be able to see it. But in reality, if you look back on where you started to where you're at now, then you're going to see your growth. Sometimes we do get stagnant in the things that we do, and we think, oh man, I haven't did nothing in this long, or I didn't do this, and I'm not growing. But as long as you're taking little steps, regardless of who you are, as long as you're taking little steps to get to whatever your goal is, you're growing at the end of the day. So again, I just wanted to talk about that today. Want to make this something real short, nothing really long or anything like that. But I just felt like that I needed to come on and talk about that, because I know it's a lot of people that feel the same way I do, and then it's a lot of people that feel the same way my son did, as if looking at the fish, like they didn't grow, but they really did. Also, you can have people around you that's growing more than you, and it won't look like you're growing. And you have to take all of that in a grain of salt, because everybody's on a different journey. Everybody is doing something different. So just because they're growing faster doesn't mean that you're not. So I want you to have a great rest of the day. Think about that, and see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.